Yeah.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. My name is EK Chico, aka International Killz, and this is Drinks with Killz. Today's guest is someone who I've wanted on the show from the very, very beginning. If I had my way, he would have been episode 1 or 2, right? This guy, I've known him since I came back to Nigeria. Yeah, it's a long time.
Yeah.
By the way, I came back in 2006, just so that people can calculate or reminisce. It's like this guy has always been a man of the craft. He has always been an orator. He has always prided himself to be the top of the top class, right? And that's been his pursuit of happiness, right? As far as I can say, I've watched him grow in the industry. I can say that, I guess, because I'm older than him, small. I've watched him grow in the industry. I've watched him become everything that he felt and said that he was and could be, and is still on his journey in that manner, on that route. And he is one of the best that we have produced out of here. And he is one of our top representatives. I put money on him. I put money on him any day. I put money on him any day. If you don't know who I'm talking about one of the most vicious snakes. One of the most vicious snakes in the industry. Yeah, so. And he goes by the name of Vector the Viper. Ladies and gentlemen, round of applause for Vector the Viper. Let's clap for Vector the Viper. Yes. Thank you, my brother.
Thank you, panel of judges. Thank you, co-debaters. Thank you, bottles.
Yes.
Empty bottles.
Don't focus on the bottles. They didn't sponsor yet.
No, don't worry.
Vec, VEC, this is you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you for gracing my show with your presence.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, sir. I don't even know where to start with you. So what I'm gonna do is attempt to do a rundown chronologically of my experience of you. Okay, so I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I think the first place that you and I met was at the Sprite battle. Was that the first place, or did we meet? No. I'm sorry, the Vault?
Channel O MC Battle Africa.
Sprite, yeah.
I think your flight landed that day, if not that evening, and you walked into the Vault. And I was standing by the stage side, and I think Obi Asika just, he's such a guy. He was such a man. Like, he bossed my, he tapped you and pointed at me.
That's him.
Like, okay, Jose Moreno.
Get him.
like that's the guy. And yeah, I remember even that night, I think Dr. Sid and Rugged Man were around as well.
Yeah.
And I think we all just met in the bathroom. We all went to pee together. And
then we just...
And I think Rugged Man and Dr. Sid kind of like had a little go.
Was it Rugged Man or Mood 9?
Mood 9 was there too,
was
but
there,
Rugged Man
the
and Dr. Sid
Rugged
were
Man.
in the bathroom. So I'm like, niggas holding their dicks and trying to get at each other.
Like, what part of the game is this?
Yeah, and I can't remember vivid, but I try know that they were in the bathroom and it was just a little like, rapper ego type thing, but it wasn't really, because Rugged was never that type of person,
Yes.
And Sid too has always been a cool chap, so everybody just chopped it up. I was like, it was red because it was in the bathroom. Yeah, that was the night. That was the
bathroom
first time
stories, and we're not even 5 minutes in.
Yes, no, I think that was the first time I saw you.
Yeah.
And it was Obi Asika that made that Bluetooth introduction.
Like
that's the guy.
Irregular connect.
Yeah. Yes.
That's dope. That battle, that Sprite battle, that was very, very impressive.
Thank you.
You know, it left a mark. As you can see, I always bring it up.
Yeah.
I always bring it up, not because it's a major highlight, right? It might not be a major highlight for you, but it's a major highlight for me.
Oh, it is.
Okay.
It was Hamatan period. Do you remember?
This guy, you didn't remember details, eh?
Yes, no, it was Hamatan period. Is the building that is MTN now.
Uncompleted.
Yes, uncompleted then.
That time.
It was abandoned by NNPC, I think, or I don't know.
God, this guy, your memory,
And welfare wasn't necessarily, the best.
You mean 0?
So I remember I was having to run downstairs, go and drink water. By the time we got upstairs, you're dehydrated because of Hamatan. And it was what, the 9th floor?
And no wound though. Because those staircases.
My guy, it was no rails, nothing, no guard.
Very dangerous, actually.
Yeah, so
nobody signed waivers.
It's kind of crazy how if I just say I don't want anybody to go through the things that I went through. Well, not like I don't want you to go through it. I don't know how your story is, but I remember my story coming up and trying to do hip hop or rap or just make music. I was willing to go through at a point I went through starvation for my gift. At a point in my life, I went through starvation, and it wasn't starvation because I didn't have, it was starvation because I had a team that felt, I deserved that.
That's where you need to be for now.
Yeah,
Starve.
You know what I mean?
Develop, understand.
That battle time too, I was like, shit, I remember we'll go downstairs and go and drink water or buy water. Before you jog, reach up.
Reach upstairs.
Hamatan, not collect them back.
You're on the sweat.
Which sweat for Hamatan, bro? Yeah, so yeah, that I remember he showed me was it your driver's license then? Now then I know say you be a pal.
Why would I show you my driver's license? I don't understand what's wrong with me.
I think it was I was on your social security and everything. I was like, oh, so the thing is, I know that when we first met, the idea was, Killz, hard rapper. First thing,
but I was still up and coming then. I only had that My Name is Ikechukwu out. It had just come out, and
I mean, I was up and coming and trying to get. I wasn't certified up and coming. I was just around the vicinity.
But your name was out there.
I mean, I did 3 years on beating of battles in Unilag. So it was everywhere. Like, this guy is a bad guy, bad guy, bad guy, bad guy. So meeting you then, I sensed that the introduction was quite intense based on rap ego.
Yeah.
But for some funny reason, from that particular day, I knew that there was more to it because you were very like, yo, check this out, like, yo, and you showed me an ID.
Yo, bro, for me, I don't wanna talk too much, but for me, I felt like, especially because you're helping me recollect now, I felt like there wasn't no battle between you and me. There was no competition between you and me.
No.
This nigga is just like me. As opposed to the other ones, though. Because me, I went for rugged, though. I went for mode.
That night you came in.
Yeah.
Excuse me. That night you came in. That was the first time I met Mode face to face. My first sentence was about to battle you. And Mode says, no, you can't battle me. Like, what are you, an ammo tank?
What are you, an armor tank?
Yes, I'm like,
oh my God.
Like, you're an armor tank? Like,
that thing for sweet you. That kind of thing, the kind of thing with the sweet you.
Bro, I don't know what team rappers did. Bro, me, I was like, let's go. Right, okay, let's go. Like, I remember that was the same night I faced Maximum at the finals that night.
Oh, Maximum, Fourth Republic.
Yes.
Zella's cousin.
N6. And them.
Oh my God.
That was the night I met Maximum, and I remember that I wanted like a 14-inch color TV.
You won a TV from your rapping?
Yes, now there my mother looks so that maybe,
something.
Because I came home with the TV. That TV is still in the house.
What did Mopsy and Popsy say when you came home with the TV? Did you steal it?
Say, you
because your papa na police.
Yes, now. No, they no say I did. They know when wait till I
They no say you be bad person.
Maybe not lyrically. But when I got the TV and I brought it home, my dad, that's 2006, so I was at 2001-ish. My dad had fought with the United Nations and he had just come back. So I remember that there was a time where, when he was coming back, I was like, yo, you need to buy us video games, man, because now family come, now in the rain everywhere at that time. I was playing Duck Hunt and...
Instead of just being happy that the man came back with his life.
No, stop. The man where he escaped bullets like and hit this guy in the convoy.
Can you imagine?
So he came back and I remember that I wanted a Super Nintendo. I wanted SNES. And because I remember then in Greg's, Francis had SNES and he had Mortal Kombat and everything. I was like, okay, so if you're going to buy a game, I will just buy SNES, so can exchange cartridges and stuff. Then when Popsina came back with the SNES now.
Oh, he actually came back with this. Okay, nice.
There's one. He came back with one game and one was in cargo. With the luggage that
Which game
they
did
missed.
bring?
Guy, Catch the Cruiser. Now then man, I say God is good, right? So my dad, he says, I bought another one that is green like this, right? I was like, oh fuck, this nigga probably bought a Game Boy and stuff. I'm like, okay. Anyways, there's one Uncle Shola, we call him Babe. So his sons saw my own video game and they're like, oh, we want game. And my dad, typical. My dad has told my other brother before, I'll need you to give this card. He gave him a Peugeot 505. Man, I think I was in like junior secondary school. So his one of his brothers came and said that he wants to do cab business. So that's what my pastor make Shego give up. Don't worry yourself. My brother will say they're going to drive car for nights. Kenneth, Cisco.
Wow.
They would drive it to Obalende. Maybe there's like sex workers, a red light district. I'm like, Kenneth just shouts, you know fine, how much people go kill you?
Wow.
Like, I know like karma was going to catch up with them. I didn't think it was going to be through my dad, right? So then my dad had given me the game, but my uncle's kids were just adamant on that, and my dad, typical, he says they should take it. I just did only for Logger to come and Nintendo 64 did it.
What?
I was like,
so wait. What was the span of time between Super NES and the 64?
A week, actually.
Gee,
but because
this guy, you be a boy, you be hard. They're all butty. You
know. The year first, liver. Not me. How many birthday I do? So liver, let me ask you for Nintendo 64.
I should say you even ask for a SNES.
Now, because we don't play NES.
The NES where you for supposed ask.
We don't first play NES now. So, but you know, some like the players you can manage NES. At least NES get level past Family Com. Yes. NES get level past Family Com. There's some Super Mario games on NES that are Family Com. Family Com soccer now.
Snap. You just reminded me of something that I forgot existed.
Yes, now. So me, I was expecting that. Maybe Game Boy and stuff, because we used to play Contra on Game Boy and Ninja Turtles, like the Undokalis. The Undokalis, you know Sam that was with Hennessy before, the black dark Sam? Yeah. That's their elder brother.
Wow.
In the barracks, right? So,
wow.
He's left Henny now. I think he was doing one other
I think he's at Pernod now.
I'm reminding myself.
Big No Sam, right? Oh, no, you mean the other Sam.
The first Sam.
He's at Luxuria now.
Then, so we used to play video games with his younger brothers, like his cousins, because the Undokalis were living in block 3, I was living in block 1.
Okay.
So when Popsi now came now, I was like, probably just going to get all those green Ninja Turtle exclusive Game Boy. As I said, Nintendo 64, bro, no worries. The next one I woke up in anxiety, like, I hope that was in a dream. I know I was like, it's 2 days. And it wasn't just the black one. He bought the transparent green one. It was called the Jungle Fire or something.
Your pussy try, yo.
You know, no, he just buy the one he like. So
no, he try because instinct tell him.
Say, and he came back one swatch that my other with that fabs, yeah.
This guy is full body, yo.
Bruh, no, but the button inside barracks, so it was kind of like a right. So in the barracks, it was myself and maybe Imo. Imo was one story I referenced in The Man with the Gun.
Okay.
Like so.
Like your padisha.
Yeah, in the barracks where he was stabbed and thrown off a building in school. Right. So only me and Imo throughout our like maybe very, very young teenage age had PCs in the barracks.
Okay.
So my dad was just trying to do everything that he could do to help us further. But I was the geeky guy, the techie kid that was interested in, like I'm watching DW, for example, and I'm hearing about like some technology of like so genome and stuff. And I'm like, okay, I'm just finding out about this stuff. Like I'm learning about DNAs from Spider-Man, right? I'm learning about mutation from Spider-Man. I'm seeing how like it was all just making...
You're getting more education from what you're watching than from what you listening to in class.
Yeah. Oh, class. I had Mr. Shinyambola, who's passed now. He had this stupid wristwatch that had a flipper, that had a mirror. So we always wondered how Mr. Shinyambola saw us making noise at the back. Mr. Shinyambola was beating niggas with cable that he wrapped sellotape around. Like thick cable. What's this cable? This one with this.
Well, what was the purpose of wrapping the sellotape around?
But what was the purpose of beating people with thick cable? People, children for Command Children's School, Bonnie Camp. Right, so traveling back, myself and Imo, we had like a PC and everything. So that was how I even got into Fruity Loops.
Okay.
And I was doing my own production. I remember the first time I put Fruity Loops, I was like,
Okay.
I heard they catch me. I just close them because I didn't have no tutor. So I self-taught myself through Fruity Loops production, and semi-self-taught myself through playing the guitar.
You actually just reminded me of someone.
Oh.
I think his real name was Kenny or something like that, but he was a rapper and he lived in the barracks right around the corner from Ikeja GRA. And I think he was down with Thoroughbreds. Skinny dude.
Wait, hold up.
Please.
This nerd!
It's like
Jonah the Monarch.
God bless you!
Yes.
Better please just get up, give me a hug.
Jonah the motherfucking Monarch.
I would have never remembered that name.
Yes, no.
See where I went, Kenny. That might be his real name. No.
Maybe if he was in South Park.
You killed Kenny.
Right. So my dad came back and gave me all this story. Like, my dad always just tried to make sure that he gave us the best, but I was the guy that was always kind of like in tune with the times as to gadgets.
Okay.
In the house.
Yeah. You
So-
know Amstrad?
Who?
Did you know Amstrad? The keyboard Amstrad.
I probably didn't know what it was.
Commodore 64.
I probably won't know what they were called.
You knew them, but you
I knew the
didn't know name.
Pentiums though.
Pentium.
I knew the Windows. I knew the 2000s. I knew the like Excel and everything. I knew all those, but
Yeah.
I was also just learning as I got them. It wasn't like I was in Command Children's School, Bonnie Camp, yes. From there, I went to Ijebuode Grammar School. Then from there, I went to St. Gregory's College. And from there,
St. Greg's. That's what I know you
no,
as.
Government
a Greg's
College
boy.
VI first, Goko V.
But I know you as a Greg's boy.
Yes. So from Government College VI, I went to St. Gregory's. So my own story has always just been like, okay, you know, my other siblings probably went to Ireko Methodist School before they withdrew them and put them in like, say, maybe better schools or preferred. I would say better.
It's like
Preferred
people know me for KC.
Uh-huh.
You know me for KC.
Yes.
You don't know me for FGC Port Harcourt.
Jesus Christ, there was that.
I went there 4 years before KC. KC only chopped 2 years from my life.
Boss my head.
My older sisters went to Ijaniki.
Oh, Ijaniki is famous.
When it was Ojo.
Bruh. My younger brother went to Bonnie Camp. What's that place in Iyanopaja?
Bonnie Camp was in Iyano.
No, sorry, Command Iyanopaja.
Command Iyano.
Bonnie Camp is in VI.
Yeah, I was like,
I went to VI. Yomi went to the secondary school in Iyanopaja. You know where yourself, he collects full collected. Like, he's a jarhead, he's a stubborn goat. Like, if you see my younger brother now, you're dealing with him, you think he's one cool guy, he's a stubborn goat. So, pretty much, right?
Mona army boy, you call him jarhead now, so he don't serve.
Yes. Well, no, I'm saying it's a jarhead based on if you go Command secondary school, no worry, you don't serve. Like, bro, no worry, you don't serve.
I think the band went to Command, have you?
I shall know the band is the barrack boy.
Yeah.
So Popsy came, brought that game. All these things was part of things that he kind of like added to my upbringing. And that was it. That was kind of like a very interesting time. But also I was worried that my dad was going to die at that period because that was when I got in a fight and I broke my nose in school as well.
How old were you?
It was 2001.
See, because you just said you were also afraid that your father would die. This is something that Emma and I have been talking about, and we need to pick up that conversation again. Mental health.
Yeah.
Like, how old were you when you were thinking these kind of thoughts that your father could die any day? Because you are aware of what he did and what he was on.
The funny thing is, I've always been this kid. Now, mental health might be cautioned in our immediate reality if our parents just understood that kids are not stupid. They just don't know how to communicate in your understanding yet. But kids are not stupid, right? So me now till today, I'm like, there are a lot of things that I saw. So for example, the first conversation I had with my dad, he was like, call welfare at his office. Because it's like, Daddy, I see Nigerian police on checkpoints and she beat them fast food restaurants. They know they finish sell their pies and everything in the day. So why don't they just do a drop-off delivery? Because they can't keep it to the next day to every checkpoint around their vicinity, especially if they are located in many, many places because they throw it away or they take it to my
How
and dash
old were
people.
you when you came up with that?
I was in junior secondary school.
Bro, do you know that this is what you just described is an active, like,
communal
program
participation in growing
in New
our...
York.
Oh, it
like
is?
Probably, yeah, it's called City Harvest.
Oh, I didn't know.
The city employed people go around to all businesses that have perishables, like you just said. They know they sell and finish now. What are they going to do with it? It's to throw it away now. So they go around and they pack all of this and they take it and they give it to the homeless, they give it to the people
The only
less
city employment I
fortunate.
know comes from Guardiola. Is like I was saying to my dad then, I was like, yo, like this thing will work, oh. Like all this.
You go what if you had it would have worked.
Till today, it will work.
And it's not implemented.
And they called the PRO guy, and brilliant idea. What's but of course it's usual. And then I started to learn about that. So a lot of times these days I talk to people about a lot of genius things, but it feels like they also now wait for you to activate it.
Or they'll give you the other side of the Nigerian coin, which is Oversabi, I beg you.
That kind of thing. But this one, if you talk about no be Oversabi, fast food, no they sell food finish.
They know they sell food finish.
So
food they spoil sometimes, self.
So I was always aware of this. So it's not about like mental health and how that affected me. How it affected me was because my mother chose to be a Shola Shubawale in the house when she heard that she thought my dad died. Hey!
And yo, you cannot say anything, bro.
I was freaking out because I was like, shit, so is he dead?
You cannot say anything wrong about Shola Shubawale to you.
No, I mean, I
know now, I know. Because when you said it, I loved it actually. I didn't freak out.
Yes, when Shola Shubawale, they act pain or anger. No worry, everybody know, hold yourself. So my mom was on the floor. Hey, how come your husband? I was a kid. I'm like, oh. So we're out there on the news watching if my dad's name was going to pop up on a list of people that were, say, casualties of not war, of peace. I'm like, because United Nations was supposed to be keeping peace, right? But then there's also the flip side reality in the barracks whereby officers were willing to go and face danger so that they can earn in Forex, so that they can do better for their families.
Nobody say they get military training, though. They are law enforcement officers, local law enforcement officers, but they are willing to go and fight that war so that they can earn for their family. Nobody say they believe in the war.
Bro, so that they can earn in dollars.
Bam.
Because
the dollar better pass.
People they travel, go try keep peace for where insurgency don't they. For you to create a joint force of forcemen,
yes,
say maybe police and soldiers, to go and help keep peace somewhere, it must mean everything not scatter for them, including the police for them now.
They are now experts.
Bam. So there's that reality of my dad, going to United Nations fighting, blah, I saw my dad's dog tag. People think dog tag is cool fashion until you realize that maybe this is all that is going to come back to you from your father. In
between your toes.
Bam. Like it's all that reality growing up. And I was a very, very self-aware kid from the last time I could remember. Like, I can remember a lot of things that my mom is shocked at. How do you even remember this happening? Yeah. So I was very self-aware, unknown to everybody around me. So as I went there, they thought my dad had died. I knew what it was, but I also wasn't a very, very cryy person. Like, my first daughter is that way too. I mean, she's
repressed
very
emotions.
She's loving. She's an empath, but she's not a crybaby.
Got you.
Like, it's typical. It's that energy. So I feel like it's a noble blood, like my dad, myself, my brothers, our kids, and it was crazy then because I was there like, shit. Okay, so I think this man is dead. So how do we move from here? Only for him to call.
How far now? I'll be home next week, oh.
So imagine what my emotion was like.
Nigga,
okay, he's dead now. He's not dead anymore.
Mommy, they overact, cha.
That time you say your husband don't die for behave now. For Bad Akobi say they go throw your load after 3 months.
What?
Yes, now. 3-6 months, maybe.
Once the breadwinner, the organ that brought you into this barracks is gone.
A lot of you hear adages or sayings in public, but you don't know the consequence of those things in reality. When they say soldier go, soldier come, barrack remain, that's what it means. It means, excuse me, the moment you die in service, somebody else is waiting
to take your spot.
In line to take your spot, plus your home.
Plus your
wife fine.
Parking spot. Ah, jeez, don't go out. No. That one they happen even when you never die.
Now I say, so I've seen them evict
crying families.
What do you mean crying families? Mourning families.
Yeah, well,
crying can be for any other reason, but they just in Papa die
and then at the morning where I turn into crying. So.
Yes, now in Papa die on duty, and they just come. So all those things, I was like, okay, I was coming to terms with all that in my head, only for my father to call a day or two after.
And so you were already calculating as a sharp guy.
Okay, yeah. So
Man, so the way it happened that family, they go now come do to us.
Yeah, so is that how it's going to be?
Where we
so
gonna
where
go?
will we be? How will we stay? Because my dad was his dad died in a car crash. So I guess he was a rich kid, because his mom was said to be a principal. So if my papa, mama, and a principal, it must mean eloquence was there.
Of course.
Oratory skill was there.
Of course.
It must mean assimilation.
Upbringing.
Understanding. Yes. It must mean greatness of some sort. Not because it's Western influence, but because it takes a lot for an African mind to understand an external factor of, say, communication, or an external style of communication, enough to master it, enough to teach it on to people. Now, it may not be the best thing to think about now in a total understanding of how they've taken so much away from Africans. However, I feel like this is the era we're in. We learn your language so that we can tell you in your understanding that you were trash. Like, I had to come to terms with that.
And make you believe it.
Yes, in your understanding. Say, so, in English, they speak. Okay, so in English terms, colonialism was bullshit. You infringed on people's rights. You intruded their privacy. You
converted their reality.
Right, you encroached their game. We know that, but now, okay, since you don't understand Yoruba, let me tell you that in English. You didn't do right by the people. So my dad growing up, he lost everything that I just narrated to you before he was 7. So he had to, by himself, send himself to school.
So it's pretty much like a grace to grass story.
That type of stuff. So when he was telling us his story, he was in tears. And how my dad became the star boy of his family, because now police officer in B. But then again, was also now a police officer who was a very, very honest man.
Hard to find in this country.
So it was a lot that I learned just watching him growing up. He wasn't perfect, but there was a lot I learned about watching him growing up. So all that, I guess my dad kind of like prepared us for the worst that could happen. Because there was a point, the point my dad started to tear up was when he said that there was a point, because there was no soup, he ate the eba with mango juice. Not mango juice that was from the factory, mango that he squoze into a plate.
My nigga said that he squirreled.
Yes, into a plate.
Bonix died.
And he chow. And he burst out into tears when he was saying that to
Gary
us.
and mango. You know, say you don't take.
When they say that thing, they go turn your belly.
Go kill you.
Yes. No worry. Now my pa let me know say na lamba. Say Gary and mango no go kill you. I mean, not to let's say na ancestors pam. Through in period. So all that, I guess I kind of like have been mentally fortified to understand clearly how to just deal with life.
It's funny because you just like we were trying, or I was trying to give the people a chronological breakdown of me meeting you so that I could give them an understanding of your beginnings. But guy, you just did a fantastic job of opening the eyes, because a lot of people don't know you.
Yeah.
They think they know you because they listen to their music and
they're
you know how fans are now, psycho fans. They go say, no, nobody knows Vector past me.
Yeah.
Now maybe biggest fan.
Vector, you talk say for this song, for that year.
But if they're actually watching this shit right now, they're looking at you like,
oh yeah, if they say child of grace, it's not by what you guys know now. But then again, a child of grace most likely won't even see the grace. You think you do, but you will most likely not see. It's like, there's no way you can know the maxim of God's grace in your life.
100%.
There's no way
no
you
way.
can know
You're
that.
not God.
Yeah, so me growing up, like you said that, a lot of people don't know about me, and I intentionally left it that way because my story is too real to be phony.
Or adulterated.
I mean, especially by adults.
I hope you caught that one. Only rappers go catch that one.
Well, I guess that makes it.
I don't say you catch her.
I guess it was a joke that was adult rated.
It wasn't planned. It wasn't parental planning.
Yeah.
PG.
Right, but I couldn't be out there telling that story about, shout out to everybody who went through their hard times, but bro, you know what hard times are? Like in the barracks, there was a time where Some people only had salt in their I'm like, who's your mom? Lot's wife.
Mm,
Now only
mm,
salt
mm,
I guess.
mm.
This one only Maggi they get. This one like we get ororo. This one like we get beans. They usually get rice and Ijebu Gari because we be Ijebu people. So.
Bro, you don't have to tell me. I think it was Jonah.
The monarch.
I swear, as you were just talking, I got goosebumps. I think it was Jonah. I'm not sure because it was a long time ago.
Yeah.
But I think it was Jonah that I followed to the barracks, to his crib in the barracks.
Man, they contribute ingredients now.
Bro, no, forget that one. No. This one, the flat, where they're day inside, because we climbed 2 floors going flat. The flat where they're day inside, now one, I won't call it one space.
Where then demarcate.
Yes.
Oh, now, no. Go to Obalindi barracks now.
Bro, the bathroom, you know those drums, those big blue drums where you go tall reach like this with black seal.
Cover, yes.
Yeah, it's inside bathroom. And the toilet, the porcelain toilet pot, now the only thing we're inside that bathroom, we're supposed to be inside bathroom. Everything else we're inside that bathroom, not supposed to be inside bathroom.
When NSAS was happening, I told the barrack boys to send their living conditions through and let me post it. That video that trended about the Ikeja Police College, I recorded I recorded it online from a channel special that they did. According to that interview, as that when it happened, the average money that a police officer feeds with is 150 naira. That's 50 morning, 15 afternoon, 50 nights. How the hell would he be on the road and be a sane person?
No, he gas rob you. He gas rob you.
So my dad was living through, although
that's less than beggars.
We were the first occupants in McCarthy Barracks.
Where's McCarthy Barracks?
McCarthy Barracks is, as a matter of fact, I was born opposite this street.
Don't tell me McCarthy Barracks is around here.
Bro, this is the only hospital. McCarthy Barracks is like a 3-minute walk. After I finish here, I'll take you there.
Okay.
No, I'll take you there. I'll show you the reservoir that has been abandoned. McCarthy Barracks has never been renovated. We were the first occupants of our flat, Block 1, Flat 13.
So if we enter Block 1, Flat 13 right now, this McCarthy Barracks, it go day the same way. At least we go resemble.
Everybody don't hype their thing now. Now individual officer. So guess what? Now the way the officer hustle reach, now in lifestyle go be. So technically, you are supporting what started the NSAS movement. What's the combination of hunger and weapon? Robbery.
100%. No, I've experienced that one myself.
I see your story now. I just did laugh. Say black belt away, black on black.
Bro, and it's not only one. So I just put one story out there. I get plenty of them because you know, say we experience them every night.
Yes.
You understand? Especially if you're a midnight marauder.
Yes.
You get me? And in our industry, all of us are.
We are nocturnal.
Yeah. But yo, dude, the one where I experienced where just triggered me, where it don't be any of those ones where I put on top there. I don't see where guy. Then give him the gun. Then give him and he get the yellow, green, and blue. I say, wow, so these guys, they rent out their.
Bro,
then sabi each other.
Bro, my papa frustrates at a point based on say, let's just say there were expectations from him and the office he held. My father has been posted to Goza. You know where Goza is? Up north. Now only cactus they really grow there.
It's on a desert.
And so just coming from all that, bro, there was a time in the barracks where myself and now my younger brother I said don't turn to jarhead now, right? We were just home alone. I think our parents went out. We went to church. No, they went out. So
who was McCulkey?
Who?
Who was McCulkey?
Who was what?
Oh, it was Macaulay. Sorry.
McCarthy.
No, I said who was Macaulay. You said the two of you were home alone.
Okay, my bad. I was slow. Bro, at the point for McCarthy Barracks, right, they climb step, come up, enter your house. So.
They do that one even for equation.
No, not be like McCarthy Barracks, right?
But forget Niger rats.
No, rats don't jump for your chest when you sleep before.
For boarding house, for Port Harcourt. Not illegal.
How big was the rat?
You know that time I small. So I can't really, but probably not as big as yours.
As in, I didn't sleep, I just said boom. And, bruh, that's what
on your chest.
Bruh, no, the human body is a brilliant machine. the human body.
Because
the
your
human,
defensive skills will kick in before
bruh,
you
as I
even
said,
know.
boom, the first, I remember this, I woke up.
You chest them off.
I just I'm like, ah. And at that moment, I was like, nah, man, fuck this. Fuck this. Like, this, two moments in my life. That moment, when I was in a bus one time, because I'm a tall ass kid, and bus, the seats are so closely arranged. So I'll now have to sit like this.
And bend your
I
leg
was
to
like,
the side.
I was like, nah, hell, fuck no, this is not me. Like I will, like I cannot, because I'm too tall for this shit. I at that moment, now then I know say there are different types of prayer. Oh. Yes, now the prayer they will say no talk in Jesus' name. We say you could just para for your spiritual essence, and every will will just clear. I knew that even if I didn't have the money to buy the car, I can't live like this. I will lose my shit. Like I'm a 6'4" man in a bus that can't sit comfortably. I can't get the day like this. Like
It don't make sense.
and before now, when I had 3 seats before, later I turned to 4 seats. Like I saw every avenue of the effect of bad governance, say colonialism, say lack of understanding. I saw every effect of those things in different phases in my life, or facets of my life. And I was like, this is not it. Like the Barack was one of them. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. Like this, I'm not doing. Like there's no way a rat will be jumping on my chest when I'm sleeping. That's the end.
There's no way. Say it again.
A rat will be jumping on my chest when I'm sleeping, and that's the end.
So that's why you made that record about MI, Abby.
No.
But why did you call him a rat?
Some rats couldn't get on my chest.
That nigga was on your chest.
Nah, he really wasn't.
He was.
Nah,
Like this.
I mean,
It was on your chest like this.
Nah, I'm sure you know. He wasn't.
I'm just playing.
But, I knew that wasn't me. I was like, no, like, this is wrong. But guess what? By myself, I now made sure I went to get plenty rat trap. Bruh, my guy,
With the gum or the snap.
the place where in the pass for up, let's say, I'll be bastard. Let's say the path is this narrow. So from the edge of this table to this part where my hand is.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes, so it holds the curtains. Right? It's supposed to have, bruh, as this person, I just put one rat trap, put an hour,
It must enter one.
Baba, Tokyo drift your way out of it now.
Bro, the Niger rats sharp.
Baba, no worry yourself. See that same night when I said that trap. I said, pass!
That sound is sweet, oh.
Bruh,
That sound is
I
sweet.
did like this. I said, pass! I just smile. I wait till morning.
You go look.
May die where.
You don't see anything.
He catch him.
You catch up.
Baba, me. Bruh, there was one boy, there's one family next to my barracks, right? Rest my block, my room, my flat.
Mm-hmm.
They're called the Stevens.
Okay.
Almost all the names had SS. So there's Silvano Steven, there's Sylvia Steven, there's Sabina Steven.
What are the father's name?
Simon Steven.
Not the problem with that.
Now the papa name I shall says Mr. Steven. He was the person that introduced me to Fela's music. Right? Right. Silvanos, I think. Is it, would they call him Canary? Canary, if you use and catch rats. I don't want to say, my guy, which one be say you use and catch rats? You be bad guy.
You does. You sabi where this rat don't sit down.
But no worry yourself. You sabi where the boy don't go. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, so I learned a lot of lessons growing up from there. And people think they know your story, but I was the eloquent kid in my family. I was, as a kid. My aunts who come from the UK and be like, like his English is too much. I remember my uncle coming to the house and I was watching Mighty Mouse.
Mighty Mouse is on his way.
And I remember this particular scene where Mighty Mouse caught the cat. And I think the cat had swallowed the bird or something. I said, what did you do with the boy?
What did you do with the boy?
So me, I was there watching, and my uncle walks in and says, Shogman Koton so. She in the year everything they talk. My mom says, so I also grew up from the understanding that, okay, it's almost as though I'm not supposed to understand eloquence or English.
It was like you were not supposed to be where you were.
I'm a Yoruba boy on Lagos Island growing up in a barracks. What are the odds that I'll become Vector the Viper? Slim to none.
Bro, no, but you know, it's those type of beginnings that create diamonds.
Yes, and diamonds beyond what people know. Diamonds on some...
Diamonds beyond what people know diamonds for.
On the intro to the album, the first album I dropped with YSG, I think it was 1972. I don't know. On the intro to one of the
Did you
albums I
just
dropped
say
with YSG.
1972?
Yes, this track was titled 1972, and it was dedicated to Chubby's dad, his story.
You drop history on his story.
Yeah, and one of the lines was, "A humble beginning equips you with the weapon of caution and wisdom when Pepe don't the rest. On your way, just take your time. Another man's watch won't tell your time. A kid becomes a teen becomes adults become wise with a sage's mind." Like,
yeah, that's...
the humble beginning will equip you with the weapon of wisdom and caution when Pepe done the rest.
And that's pretty much a definition of what we just said.
Boom. So yeah, I know my humble beginnings. I don't have to capitalize on it. I don't.
Yeah. It's gonna capitalize on itself. It's not something
Right.
that you need to put effort into.
Bouncers were telling me, celebrities you need bouncer. Like, because, bro, which area boy will come disturb me?
And you know, see, that's another way that you and I have similarities. Like, you know, they really okay. Yeah, in the beginning, I used to roll with them. Yeah, but bro,
Like,
not my way.
Make a run. Somebody was shooting a movie and she's like, Larry, you know, you can't talk to your guys. I'm like, where are you from? Are you not from Lagos Island? Yes. Ban was around now. Like, even with police officers as well, my dad just told me one advice. Said, whatever you do, don't argue or fight with the police officer, especially at night.
Yeah.
And he says, if he kills you, I will find him and I'll kill him, but I'll be killing him for something, but he killed you for nothing.
Oof. If he kills you, I'll find him. I'll kill him for something, but that means he killed you for nothing. And guess what? They kill us for nothing every day.
Like, if I watch American clips of when police stop you, alaye me, what will it take you as a human being to just get away from that moment and be like, yeah, you know, yeah. I was stopped on the highway between Philly and Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Oh, Jesus. The sticks.
Yeah. And the guy that was driving me that night, it's funny because Emeka Ogwejofor is a very, very close man. It's like my best bud. And it's funny. That's the person they thought I was going to go and sign with in America when I traveled that caused a lot of fracas.
With YSG?
Yes.
We're getting to that.
Yeah. Like, it's the person they thought, but it really wasn't.
You just went to go be with your boy.
Yeah, and just hang out. We're going to Vegas, right? So
they saw Vegas, they saw homie. He was probably looking fresh, so they say, this guy get money.
It was somebody else. No, it was. Yeah, guess what? It wasn't even Chubby or even Larry Gaga. It was just weird talks about, oh, you know, he's most likely going to sign with this nigga, and I'm like, I'm educated to know I'm in a contract already. Yes.
Yeah.
Right. But moving on the highway, we get pulled over. I remember the driver was white, and I didn't sit at the back because, you know, okay, let me just this guy, let's just catch it. Because I was right at the passenger seat up front. And the police stops us. And I'm looking at this white man coming at me and saying, where are you going? I'm like, first off, I live in Africa.
So I don't really know where I'm going.
Like, I know
you're gonna have to ask him.
But yeah, he didn't talk one thing to the guy driving.
He just kept on speaking to you.
Said, so may I say identification? But because I already know a lot of things in English, I was like, can I reach for my...
Yes, now.
No,
you were complying.
Yes, first of all, my hand was in my jacket because it was very cold. Plus, we're going to Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
So when you won't remove your hand, you got to ask permission.
Because no worry, the moment you think to remove your hand, the cold will begin catch the hand. Talk less of if you remove them. Right, so...
Talk less of say, guy, day for your front, say if you move them any one way.
And I was there and he says, I think he said something like, why are your hands in your pockets? And I'm like, it's cold. I just told you I live in Africa. Like, you should know. For you to be stopping me as a black man, you should know about Africa because that's where all of us are from, yes?
So that's why you want all of us to go back to, right?
No, they don't want us to go back to it. You know they don't want you to go back.
But they be saying it.
What would the NBA look like?
What would the NFL look like?
Bruh,
what would America look like?
Bruh. Anyways.
They need us so much. They can't stand it.
So I'm there and I'm like, well, it's cold. And I think the first thing he did was he steps back.
Yes, now.
He reaches for his holster.
Of course, now.
And I remember the movement because they always move the clip with the middle finger and immediately put the index on the trigger.
Live.
And me
So that once
watching,
they pull out, they can pull.
yeah, me watching all that, like I just saw him go, and he steps back. And I just remembered, in America we did again, they
People, they
shoot black
die
people for nothing.
For nothing.
All right then.
And you also remember, you might not be thinking along these lines, even though you're a rapper and you could and should, but you just told a man while your hands were in your pocket, when he asked you, why are your hands in your pocket? You said, because I'm cold. Does that mean you got heat? You holding some heat in there?
Yes, I'm cold as
And
ice.
you know, we call guns heat.
Okay.
When you're packing heat,
Yeah, I know.
and you can have a little 22
Yes.
or a 38.
Yeah.
Even you could even have a 44. You can have a 44 in a bubble. Were you wearing a bubble jacket? Was it a bubble jacket?
No, it really wasn't. But it's
But it was thick.
yeah, it was thick
Yeah.
enough to at least keep my hands warm.
Bruh. First and foremost,
Man, what's a 9 looking like?
what's
really?
a 9? Come on, bro.
So when he just did that, I was like, it is very bon. Okay. Then he takes my passport. He says, so
now your hands are
ID.
out.
I'm like, so can I give you my passport? Because I saw him go for his gun.
You give him the green or the blue?
I don't have blue.
Oh, sorry.
So I gave him green. And he went into the car. And I'm like, wait, don't you just run license plates in the car? Like, can you run a passport in this car? But I didn't know. He just went and gave him back and said, you could go. And once we drove off, Jesse says, racism is stupid. Yeah, you can come in. Jesse just says, that's the white kid. That's Kunle.
Kunle, who is Kunle?
Kunle is on the team. We work together.
Okay, shout out to Kunle.
Yeah.
We do that all the time.
Elder
We
statesman.
involve.
He's known as
everybody.
the elder statesman. Women like him a lot.
Okay, so listen, it's very sweet listening to your story, Vector.
Yes, but you want to take me back to all those things that you want to talk about.
Yeah, you know, the ones that the people know about. So now that you have given them food for thought as to who you are, that they didn't know, they might be able to understand a little bit more better.
Sometimes why I'm a crazy person.
What they no, that's relative, bro.
Yeah.
What they thought they knew.
Yeah.
Are you getting me? What do you call this your guy again, Kunle?
Yes.
He enter here with seniorhood. Seniorhood.
So the Udinese will play football.
Na footballer.
Na footballer again.
Na football.
Chuk Udi. Really?
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so you did
sir.
mention 3 things that I made sure I locked in my brain, even though they're one topic.
Yeah.
Chubby, Gaga, YSG.
Yeah.
Who were you with before you got picked up by YSG?
No
Or
one.
before the YSG situation happened?
I was actually approached from an Hillbillies show in Surulere.
Approached by who?
Culture. He was with Spinall.
DJ Spinall.
Yes.
So who was Culture approaching you for? For himself?
For YSG, because Culture is friends with Chubby. Childhood friends with Chubby.
Okay.
So
So what did Culture do?
Culture, I was on stage and I was doing my thing, and I remember the line that caught everybody. And now you're scared to watch. It is my time. It is your watch.
Oof.
And the crowd went crazy. And I remember it was Ilble saying, oh, you're so Vector, I'm doing something in Surulere. And I just went there. Me, anyway, they say they're doing rap thing, I shall go there and rap, sha.
What year was this? Because, you know,
2008.
initially when I knew you, Illbliss hadn't come back yet. He was still in London.
2008.
Okay.
Thereabout.
Okay, perfect.
So Culture approaches me and gives me a card, and it's YSG Entertainment. And it's Culture Eloka Oligbo that's written on it.
Igbo boy.
Yeah, so I go to First Stack. and
Culture is Eloka, yellow.
No, that's Emeka.
Emeka, sorry.
Yes. Culture is dark-skinned. It's like Griff on the album. He's based in Texas.
Okay.
So when we sat at the poolside, we had a conversation. I later met Chubby. Chubby is one man that I can say I literally just fell in love with his persona the moment I met him. You can tell that Chubby is such a cool person.
Laid back.
Like, beyond just laid back, he's also a funny person. Like,
So what the fuck happened?
I
Because
guess,
at one point it seemed like you and Chubby were enemies.
No, me and Chubby were never enemies.
Never. It was just misunderstanding.
It was
right?
just the misunderstanding
Miscommunication.
and misrepresentation and miscommunication of things. I remember there was a time at the house I was talking to him and he walked in.
Party, or just hanging.
It was always a party with Chubby, eh? Yeah.
Was it the same day that we later on linked up upstairs on the balcony?
Nah, it wasn't
No?
that.
Okay.
I remember that that was then. The other time was with Wandeko. It was Wandeko that walked in. I went to the fridge and picked champagne.
Yeah, I wouldn't have done that. I don't think I did.
No, but that's it. Chubby was a very, very he always was a very, very easy person. Like he was just chilled. Like you could tell.
Yeah.
I remember one of the moments that Chubby blew me the fuck away was we were driving together and he played Chris Brown, Chipmunks Champion. Whoo. That some people have to learn, some people take their turn. That moment.
Record.
I was born a champion and we're burning gas too. So it was it was such a perfect thing. But things happen and misunderstandings come in and that happens. But I will never ever, in referencing Chubby, no matter how negative things may have gone, I would never ever underestimate or undervalue the positive things, the kind of person that, this is even beyond just saying, my career was like his person.
Yeah.
Like, anybody that knows Chubby, you know where yourself.
Yeah, I was actually just talking about Chubby last week. God's honor. And the person I was talking to was the one who brought him up. And I was like, Chubby? He was like, yeah, you should have a conversation with him. And I was like, man.
Here?
Huh? No, not here. It was private conversation. and I'll be honest about it. I said to the person, I was like, I don't think Chubby is one of those kind of people that understand me or feel what I'm trying to do or what I'm about. And the person looked at me and said, you have no fucking idea.
So one thing that I can tell you about Chubby is he's a man that listens. Okay. So all of us, you two, now, people always give Chubby gist. And you just there live, give like his 2 cents and everything. So you can respect the wisdom of a man that listens to a lot of people.
100%.
Right? You can also expect some misrepresentations to happen around a man that listens to a lot of people. Because a lot of people have different opinions about a lot of people. So there can be, but he's a general listener and he tries to understand and he tries to apply himself to whatever it is you're saying. So if at all there's a conversation that you need to have with Chubby, if there's anybody you can talk to, I think it's Chubby.
Okay, so YSG was, I would like to say it was a nice chunk, but it wasn't that long in the grand scheme of things. How long were you with YSG?
2009 till I dropped my 2012 album with YSG as well.
Why did I think it was shorter than that?
I mean, because it's been a long time.
So why did you guys part ways? What went wrong?
There was a lot of conversations. Like there was also a point where somebody was telling me that I even Killz thought that I was taking swipes at YSG at my Rhythm FM freestyle interview because I said something along the lines of something about the boy, like even in PH, the boy will bring the burner up, and I've left Festag, don't bring the border up.
Who thought you had? Who caught that one?
I don't have proof. I didn't have proof, but it was suggested that you had a funny snide remark or some side talk like, I mean, Victor's out there taking shots at y'all niggas.
This line that you just dropped though, I never heard that.
It was a long time ago. It was on Big Time.
Big Time. Now, Big Time.
It was a show on radio.
Yeah.
So I was there like just doing a freestyle on radio, on air, just catching crews. And I said, I've left Festac already. Don't bring the border up or something along. I can't remember because it was a freestyle, but I know that it was about bring the burner up based on Burner Boy, and then don't bring the border up based on Badagry, based on Festac.
Well, how does that have anything to do with YSG?
A lot of people were insinuating that every time I did a freestyle that seemed like there was a hard punch line, I was dissing them.
Okay. And a lot of people used to use me to talk shit. Because as God is my witness, I don't remember ever saying, if I said something about you to YSG, it would be to YSG. You
Yeah,
know, not
I
like
guess.
around the corner. Because I mean, I know I did question Chubby once, and
Yeah.
me and Chubby, like, our relationship wasn't deep like that. That I
Yeah.
felt like I had the right to discuss certain type of deep things with him. So I
Yeah.
respect myself. But I
Yeah.
did feel like, to a certain degree, that we don't know each other now.
Yeah,
How
Mo
far now? What's
Yaraba is
happened
my
with Vector
boy.
now?
Yeah,
What's
no.
be that
I
now?
think at a point, it's funny because you have to just recognize people who at least moved for you, even if you're not like braiding each
100%.
other's hair. So
I love
appreciate you
that you
for
said
that.
that.
Yeah, I
love that you
appreciate
said
it.
that.
There was the time Dibanja Antonio Wakalo was talking to, like trying to
Ah,
mediate.
no. See, forget to Gaga. Ask Gaga how much I disturbed him about you.
Yeah, I think at the point Ubi Franklin told me that he too. So
Yeah.
I shout out to everybody who felt like they needed to chip in the word and try to make sure that things were smoother than it was.
A lot of times you just don't know how things are gonna play out, and you have no
Yeah.
control over them.
Yeah,
You know,
but
so
I learned that nobody is totally useless.
nobody's totally useless, and nobody is always completely wrong.
Oh yeah, even a broken clock is right at least 2 times a day.
Sheesh.
Yeah.
You know, now your problem with us.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I think that was also a J line.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll leave the YSG situation alone,
Yeah.
because, you know, to be honest, I think it was more hyped than anything was really.
There was just a lot of misunderstanding
That's
around it.
it.
Like
That's
it's
it.
not like there were evil people in the mix. It was just like misunderstanding at a point.
And in this day and age, a lot of people don't even know
Yeah,
YSG.
they don't.
They don't know about the existence of YSG or
Yeah.
that story. They might have some ideas, but the millennials and the ones behind them that are in the game right now, they just know Vector as Vector.
Oh yeah, it was Chubby.
Mm-hmm.
It was Obiora's like belief.
Mm-hmm.
Like I remember there were times where I had like a lot of problems with management and everything, and Chubby was as honest as possible. Yeah, but if they don't know why, my first start ever was going to be the Young Shall Grow. Like it was going to be YSG.
And for all of you that don't know who we're talking about, YSG was a record label that was in this industry, that morphed into an entertainment hub.
Yeah. There's YSG hubs.
And was owned by Chubby Obiora.
Obianodo, I think. His last name?
His last name.
Obianodo, I think.
There you go. And YSG stood for Young Shall Grow, as in Young Shall Grow Motors.
I'm not sure Chubby appreciates this.
I'm sorry, Chubbs. I'm sorry.
He tries to keep that away
because
from that.
he's a humble guy.
He's a very chill person.
And he's a very independent individual too.
Yes.
But you are who you are, and you come from where you come from, and that's
of course.
You know, it is
Shout
what
outs
it
to
is.
him.
If you get it, you get it. If you don't get it,
forget it.
So, YSG happened. Is it safe to say that in the process of YSG, there was a substantial amount of claim to fame or coming of age in the industry?
I'd rather say coming of age
rather than claim to fame.
Because before I even, like in Unilag, as a matter of fact, me, General Pipe, Ben Foster, Francis Ifye, Francis Ifye, Nia Folabi. In St. Gregory's College, we had, in 1999, we were kids who had a song titled Knocking at Your Door. And when someone like, oh no, hitting species that feel they are supreme, batter boys are knocking at your door. Oh no, Blaze, Vector, Crystal doing this in our style, we're knocking at your door. Oh no, we coming at night, snatching your souls, ripping them off, we're knocking at your door. Oh no, oh. I remember my verse was, I'm back again, I'm wild, preaching peace in the war style, Vector the Viper, raw, making it worthwhile, ASAP, explode bars like TNT. Yeah, the batter boy nigga straight from NIG. I'm locked down on target like stealth bombs from jet fighters. German machines beating your teams, we like Schneiders. Punch it off your bragging mouth like Lennox did to Tyson. Cycle crush you lyrically, you call me Major Bison, my son. I blend like thunder and lightning. When chopping beat bars, I give scars like I be Jason. Like it was...
And people say rap is dead. I beg, please.
It was me and them, and in St. Gregory's College then, when we were in GSS 3 or GSS 3, we had a hit record around all these girls' schools in Obalende. Me and Pipe with Francis Ifye.
Where's Pipe right now?
He's about to hit you guys hard. Like,
Good.
he came back to Nigeria, did some recording.
Where was he?
When he comes here, you should have a conversation with him as well. You'll be amazed at what the story
General
is.
Pipe has gone through a lot.
Right, you don't understand. The lot that you know is a parking lot compared to like Shiloh. Like a parking lot that is
like
small.
that.
My G.
General
Pipe story.
Pipe needs to reconnect. Yes, we need to bring Pipe on the show.
Yeah.
Because Pipe was a major force in the industry.
He is a major force. Like, Pipe was the first dance hall, anything global, continental blow with Champion. He was the first dancehall reggae artist that is Nigerian.
General Pipe really come that many money.
Champion mix get to see that year with WFA now, and Sasha, and GT. The whole Storm crew was vibing with that.
Is it me you're telling?
Right. So me, Ben, Pipe, we had a music club in St. Gregory's College.
Yeah.
And I was VP. Ben was president because he was a choir master that was always catching babes with music.
Ben was a choir master.
Ben? In Papa Get Church.
Wow.
Yes, sir.
I did not know that.
See, between me, Pipe, and Ben, the story, no worry yourself. You get what we say if I talk about Ben, if he die, but if funny die. If funny die. Just know in that story, they came to pack sock away in one church and they found plenty condoms. Leave it at that. So
Wait.
The sock away no food, now condoms block them.
At the church.
The sock away na
For
church
the church.
got them. So let's leave that story there.
Wow.
But you see between me, Ben, and Pipe.
Wow. Don't, you want to tell us the name of that church?
I'm not saying anything, but just know that, say, in my life, we break down all the stories from St. Gregory's College, how, so for example, we'll be in class, I think we're in SS1 then, and because we're surrounded by girls' schools, Holy Child, Girls Secondary Grammar School,
St. Mary's.
No, it's so there's so.
Is that Holy Child? That's Obalende. Wait,
Yes.
Holy Child is not Obalende. Holy Child is VI.
No, it's Obalende Ikoyi. So Greg's is Obalende into Aulor Road now.
Yes.
So behind Greg's is Holy Child. Walk down that strip is Girls Secondary Grammar School.
True.
Take this turn is Ontario Comprehensive.
Wow, yeah, you're right.
Go this way,
right.
Ontario International, then this way, Ontario High. So every closing hour, you just see babes walking through that. And
that's why you guys used to stand outside your gate.
no, we never did.
And there was one corral next to your gate that was long like this.
Yes, now that's the one that led to the Ashawo place that a lot of boys got this virgin. Yes, right on. Yeah, that's. Yeah, I always mix election and all those things. I always mix them
St.
up.
Greg's, Vector, don't snitch on you now.
Which I would say Vector snitch on it now. The Ashawo place no day again. Boys they go. But our own, I say babes they come enter meet us for school after closing hours.
Mad.
It was an all boys school, but yes, you know, we sit in a class and I remember a famous DJ's niece.
A famous
DJ's niece.
DJ.
No, a famous DJ's niece. It doesn't have to be who you think it is.
Okay.
She will leave her school and come and hang with us too, and we just catch a vibe.
Alright.
So
all I know is back in the day,
we didn't have to go way down the road for women. They always came into school. We were the guys that were rapping in school. What's wrong with you? Like,
no, you guys, this thing where you talk right now, they pain me. You know why? Because when I wear white and white, we wear white and white.
No,
both of us there island, but una the babes they come to una.
Because we were cool now.
They go mainland, they go to the babes.
No, because we were the cool guys. You know, say now the form die.
We the form die.
Yes, go come Greg's. They go to that inside bus. They some say ACD. What do they do all of this one? Like, come out and interact with men now. Whereas, now KC boys they concept video games to us now. Game Boy like 5-ish or something or 3-ish. Like I'm like, you're out there selling this expensive thing for cheap. But we're the cool ones. We're Gregorians. We're the guys that wear slippers and baggies and look cool. KC boys were rich kids mostly. Gregorians were just a mix of rich kids. Right, we get persuaded.
Lagos kids.
That's where give principal blow run. Lagos Island, Lagos Island life. I was born on
basically, St. Greg's was federal government, Port Harcourt.
Gangster, but we were also cool, right? Because we're beating you guys at Interact competitions now. Well, is it Interact? Yes, Interact now. The dance one, where we were the best dancers throughout secondary school.
They didn't have Interact when I was there.
Was it 1960 you were there? You people didn't have Interact. So how did you interact?
we entered.
Okay,
Just
Milan.
acting.
Like that's the new Chelsea kids. Acting like Milan, interact.
Bro, interact.
Yeah, but
So
so that was us in St. Gregory's College. But we had a hit record that there were some girls that were fetching water in Obalende Barracks and they were saying, right now, I'm observing in my mind. I'm observing Dave. I remember da. Nowadays everybody want to talk. Now they got somebody say, but nothing comes out with the move the lips, just the gibberish, like that. But we took that beat and gave them Olomi, when they got him a pharaoh. Ojami just logbe arakunrin mi wa pipe wrote that hook. So do that, let me give you the hook on this sound. And it goes, yeah. Olomi, when they got him a pharaoh. Ojami just logbe arakunrin mi wa. Ole mo pe iwo ko le lo se. Ole mo pe I won't let you go. So right now, I know if you say waiting in my mind. It was
mad,
bruh. Yeah, that they pick small stuff that say that they form.
Tomorrow has come. Tomorrow has
Everybody
come.
chow.
And today, you know.